Oracle.com. In business, they say you can have better, cheaper, or faster, but you only get to pick two. But what if you could have all three at the same time? That's exactly what some of the world's most innovative brands and AI tech companies have since they've upgraded to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. OCI is the blazing fast platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs, where you can run any workload in a high availability, consistently high performance environment and spend less than you would with other clouds. So how is it faster? OCI's block storage gives you more operations per second. Cheaper? OCI costs up to 50% less for computing, 70% less for storage, and 8% less for networking. Better? In test after test, OCI customers report lower latency and higher bandwidth versus other clouds. This is the cloud built for AI and all your biggest workloads. Right now, with zero commitment, try OCI for free. Head to oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Happy Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to Talkback on KSYL. Nathan Martin is sitting in for Al this morning, and Stephen Maxwell is in the studio cranking up our live feed. He'll be there in just a moment. We are glad that you've joined us at 7:18, almost 7:19 here on this Monday morning. As Moon Griffon says, the best day of the week, or the work week anyway, because he likes Mondays. I like Mondays, although I normally sleep in a little bit because Sundays are a long day for me. Stephen, how do you like Mondays?
Yeah, they're fine.
They're
if
fine.
you like your job, they're good, I guess. You know?
If you like your job, yeah. Well, this is a fun one to be at here Monday through Friday. You're the 5-day like solid piece that holds everything together now.
What do you mean? Oh, here?
Since I'm here on Tuesdays and Al's a 4-day-a-week guy, that means you're the rock.
I'm the full timer, I guess. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's fun.
Well, it was a good weekend. I hope everyone had. You and I were chatting just briefly. You live your life almost online. Not really, but I mean, you share tidbits from time to time. And you don't have a separate Facebook page from your, like an official news page, right?
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just don't really look at it too much.
Oh, okay. You don't post much there?
No, so I'll have people like, I sent you a friend request. Like, I just don't get on my personal one very often.
Yeah.
But
it makes sense.
Yeah.
You want to separate, but you end up sharing a lot of your stuff on your kind of your public side.
My professional one. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what social media rewards you for, is being authentic and stuff. Whatever that means. So.
You are.
I guess so. But yeah, we went to the zoo on Saturday. I was kind of feeling under the weather Friday night and Saturday morning, and my wife's like, well, we're going to the zoo anyway. I was like, okay, I'll go. So we went, I got over it, and Sunday we had that ICE protest they had at AEX.
Yeah.
So I went out there and covered that for about an hour, and always a fun-filled weekend.
You're never off.
Yeah, but it's not too bad. The worst part is like telling my wife, like, hey, I have to go cover this story real quick. Don't hate me, and she doesn't hate me, I guess.
That's a good thing.
That's good.
Look, I need to thank you for something because last week you shared a picture of yourself holding a dessert in front of a local establishment, and it piqued my interest. I don't even know what it's called still. I think it's like strawberry Dubai chocolate.
I think that, yeah.
So Nader International Market or whatever, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Over on Lee Street. And man, I seen that picture. It just like, I got to go check this out. So I go in, the guy is super nice.
Yeah,
he's a friendly fella. And so I ordered it. I said, my friend just posted this thing on Facebook. I don't know what it is. It's strawberries in Dubai. Oh yeah, I know what it is. I said, well, he said, no, thank you for coming in. He said, you browse the store while I make it. I said, well, I'm glad to be here. I'm really only here because of Stephen Maxwell. He goes, yeah, you're the second person to tell me that. So,
oh, wow.
And while I was there, he had someone else come in that ordered the same thing. So you are an influencer.
Did you see the controversy on the comments there?
No, I didn't.
So there's this person commenting like, hey, I'm the first person to go there and I discovered it and I posted it on TikTok. You're stealing from me. And I was like,
for real?
They're like, we know. And then I guess her friends posted on there. They're saying like, hey, we know you saw so-and-so's viral TikTok and you're just stealing their ideas. Is like, I legitimately swear on everything good and evil, I have not seen that TikTok. Regardless, though, people post about a lot of stuff. I was like, if anybody deserves credit, it's the guy who owns the business.
Right.
So I'm so confused. So. They're like coming after, like, they're like, we know you've seen the videos. Like, I swear to you, I have never seen your video. I'm sorry.
What's hilarious about that is how serious folks get about that kind of stuff. Oh. And I doubt you even, like you said, I mean, the random haven't seen something. How did you find the place? You just bumped into it?
My wife told me about it because she saw her friend post about it on Facebook. No, she didn't see the video. She saw one of our friends that went to LC. He posted that he got some of those like ice cream thingies. Mm-hmm. Like the peach ice creams that everyone gets there.
Well, too. I wanted to get that.
Oh, they're good, peach. Man. Yeah. And so we're like, oh, let's go check it out. I had no idea. And I go there and I'm still in people's content. You know how many news stories we cover? And then someone goes and covers it after us, or vice versa. That's just the way it works. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of I get it. You know, everybody wants to have they want to break the news. So I guess they broke it, even though you didn't see it. They broke it and you fixed it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to also, though, I had commented to you when we were talking about it, that there was a Mediterranean market in Houston I would always stop at that had these amazing pistachios that had a coating on them.
Okay.
He's got them.
Oh, really?
Very, very similar. The only difference is he has cashews and almonds to his, but it's got that tangy, sweet coating on it.
Okay.
So I bought some of those. I spent more than I should have.
No, I got you.
That's a fun place to go.
No, it's pretty cool. It's very nice inside. And, you know, they have they call them like the viral peach and lemon ice creams that they have in there, too. They're super cool. And then they have, teas, grains, too, if you're looking that sort of thing. But
are you doing a little feature on them coming up in your
Yeah, I'll have it this week.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, folks will look forward to hearing that. Well, look, let's go to the phone lines. We've got a call already this morning. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Yeah, pursuant to Miss Lemoyne's presentation the other morning, I really didn't have an opportunity to call in, so I didn't. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like, I don't even know if either one of you were around back during the times when Lance Harris was representative. And
of course.
I guess the head of on KSYL.
Oh, no, correct.
But anyway, he would be interviewed, and his positions were somewhat diametrically opposed to Mr. Luno's positions. Mm-hmm. And it was suggested that both of them be on together so that they could go back and forth instead of each one posing a specific presentation. That there really wasn't any criticism or comeback. And the same thing is with Miss Lemoyne. I don't know if she was misreading when she said the amount of carbon dioxide in the air or what. She could have been nervous. I mean, some people do get nervous. But I think I heard her say that the carbon dioxide, once it was inserted into the subsurface area, would solidify. And I didn't go back and try to find and listen to the presentation. But that basically is not really what I understand is going to happen to the carbon, or supposed to happen to the carbon dioxide. It's supposed to remain in some sort of a liquid type condition, and it isn't desirable for it to solidify. At least that's what I found when I was listening or going online. And you guys really need to have both sides making a presentation where they can go back and forth. Because when listening to Miss Lemoyne and the guy from Sungas, everything's rosy and peachy. And there's comeback back and forth that really needs to be presented.
Yeah, you know, I like that idea. I actually mentioned to Stephen I would love if he could find a way to get, you know, whether Mr. Bruce LeBlanc and maybe one of the LSU people or a geologist or something like that together to have a dialogue, not necessarily a call in, but just a true dialogue, and let them kind of back and forth it. I don't know if that's possible, but it would be a great idea. I'm certainly not versed on this. I remember asking the question about why it has to be pressurized so much. And the point made to me was that pressures that deep in the earth are so high, you have to pressurize it enough to be able to get it that deep so that it sustains or it levels out with the same pressures around it. And they say that's part of what keeps it. I don't recall them saying that it solidifies. And I don't remember if Desiree Lemoyne, who was our guest on Friday, you heard her say that it solidifies. And so that maybe, I thought you were going to comment about the misspeak over the 4% versus 0.04%, which is not an uncommon mistake to make. But you make a great point about trying to get the two sides to dialogue. I wish we could do that.
Well, the big thing is that if it goes down there and oopsie, we made a mistake, we're in big trouble.
Yeah,
big trouble.
The more I'm hearing about it, the more I'm beginning to hear that they feel like they have made incremental improvements in the process because of the 30 or 50 years of probably 30 years of enhanced oil recovery, where they've been using carbon for that many years. They've been putting it down there. A good percentage of it has remained down there, and they feel like the industry is learning all the time, and that's why they're giving these assurances. Those who are not around it, you and me, we may not be as open to those suggestions, but they do speak with a certain level of confidence that they seems to be bared out over their experience.
Well, when you're doing research projects, say like in agriculture and so forth, you might use half-acre, quarter-acre plots, and then you expand it to thousands of acres.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way because there's a small plot effect. The smaller the plot, the more effective you can manage it, and the better things come out. And if you're talking about a tiny plot underneath the ground, that's one thing. If you're talking about thousands of acres, you're talking about something totally different.
I have heard them talk.
They haven't done that in thousands of acres.
Yeah, I did hear them talk about that's the reason the Class 6 has all these monitoring wells that are done on the outside, and they also use some type of ground sonar that can respond back and tell them what's underneath, and they can measure the plume that way. It sounds like it's got a lot of rigorous attention to detail.
Yeah,
but again, we're having to be convinced of it, right?
What happens if there's a problem? Mm-hmm. You're going to pump a bunch of liquefied paraffin down there to seal it in or something?
Yeah, you're definitely speaking above my ability.
I mean, you could say that you could say that with any industry or thing, right? Like, what if there is a problem, right? There's always risk involved, I think.
Yeah, there's always risk, but I don't want the risk to be underneath my feet.
Yeah. I can understand that. We're at the bottom of the hour. We've got to take the break.
Sure.
We need to let everybody know at 8:30 we'll have Senator John Kennedy joining us. We'll be right back after this break with more calls on KSYL.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Wall Street's rally that drove stocks to the cusp of all-time highs halted amid concerns about an overheated market, with the Dow falling 224 points or 0.5%. The S&P 500 dropped by 5 points or a little less than 0.1%, while the Nasdaq was a lone bright spot, gaining 73 points or 1/3%. OpenAI releasing today a new artificial intelligence model called GPT-5, which CEO Sam Altman is calling a, quote, major upgrade. GPT-5 is designed to be more capable at coding and creative writing, as well as reasoning through complex queries. OpenAI is making the program widely available to all free users, and many of its paid ChatGPT subscribers will have higher usage limits with the tool. Costco reported robust sales totals for the month of July. The wholesale giant saw comparable sales in the U.S., excluding gas, rise by 6.5%. Meanwhile, outside the States, sales were up over 9% in Canada and 7.5% internationally. Costco shares ended the day up 0.9%. I'm Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
Hey students, school's back. But don't stress, your Rapides Parish Library has your back. Need to crush that research paper? Use our online databases. Got homework? We've got help. Study spots? Check. Free Wi-Fi printers and shelves of books to get you through any class? Double check. Whatever your goals, ace the test, pass the class, or just not fall behind, the library is your go-to. RPL, your school year starts here.
Well, a mixture of sunshine and clouds in our forecast on this Monday. Good morning. Could see an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, about a 20% chance of that. Still warm. Afternoon highs will be near 94 degrees. We'll see an east-northeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy overnight. Could see a shower or thunderstorm, about a 30% chance of that. It looks like more of the same really in store for us on Tuesday. From the Zenlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talk Back for Monday morning. Nathan Martin sitting in for Al Quartermont, and Stephen Maxwell here running navigating the show, producing, and all the other things that he gets to do over there on that side of the screen. We had a caller that dropped off, but another one has filled the gap. We're going to go back to that phone line. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning.
Hello, sir.
Can somebody tell me exactly on Lee Street is that chocolate place?
If you go, if you're driving down South MacArthur, you go past you go to the second light. Okay, give me a second here. So you go past Buffalo Wild Wings, Walk-Ons, and once you get past Walk-Ons, you're going to go to the second light, I think. Take a left, and it's right there to the right.
Yeah, so once you turn on Lee Street, it's 4727 Lee Street's the address. It's in a little strip mall right there, and it's basically across from where Mac Lee Drive runs into Lee Street.
Okay.
If that helps out.
Isn't it by across from Sam's Southern Eagle?
I want to go over there and have them put me in a chocolate coma.
Let me tell you, it's a lot of chocolate. I was surprised. Now, I will tell you, for me, the chocolate got real hard, and they give you a plastic spoon, and I battled with that plastic spoon. So, and I commented to Steven, I texted that to him, and he said he usually takes it home, and they put it in a bowl and eat it at home.
Yes, sir. Well, that's good, because I love some chocolate.
Oh, me too.
If I didn't have nothing else but chocolate to eat, I wouldn't cry 1 minute, and when I die, bury me in a chocolate casket.
It has to be milk chocolate, though.
Oh, see, I like chocolate, and I like milk chocolate, but I really like dark chocolate. And Steven turns his nose up at it. I don't know why.
I'm just not a big fan. That's okay.
You haven't had the right one.
I guess so.
But to clarify a little bit, this is in the same little strip center where the Word Christian Center is. You see that church right, that little strip center right there across from Battery Warehouse.
Good deal. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your call.
All right.
Let him know you heard about it on KSYL.
That's right.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Bye.
Goodbye.
They use like strawberries. They do like milk chocolate, white chocolate sauce, pistachio sauce, and what is that?
And it's got some sort of like shredded.
It's like a crunchy puff pastry. I forgot what they call it though.
I don't know what it is, but it kind of looks like straw. Like
it does. Like hay.
Fine hay, you know.
Yeah.
But it tastes really good. I'll be honest, I couldn't finish it.
No, it's a two-person thing.
It really is.
I think it, depending on the day.
Well, I've been losing weight, and I think I'm doing well enough that maybe my stomach has shrunk a little bit, but I really couldn't finish it the whole thing. So
I'm glad they don't have the calorie count on those things. It's got to be pretty high.
You know it is.
I don't want to know.
But the strawberries were fresh, and it was great. I love when you discover little things like that just make your life nicer.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, yeah, on that carbon capture stuff.
Yes, sir.
You know who I trust? I trust Brad LeBlanc. All these experts he has cited, I have read. Another book he talks about is Unsettled by Stephen Koonin. He talks about that book. I've got that book. I do not trust those people. They're in it for the money. If it wasn't for the 45Q tax credits, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. And there's a 1% chance we lose our water sources. It's not worth it. What do we do without water? Tell me. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You just have to pack up and abandon everything you own and move somewhere else. Arkansas or somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and I hear you that 1% is too much. It would have to be a 0% for you to be comfortable with it, right?
And I wanted to, that's not really the reason I called, but I wanted to, I called the other day about that crazy motorcycle wreck in front of Wendy's over there at 165. Mm-hmm. I had another crazy motorcycle wreck story. You'd like to hear it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, when I was over in Spain, I was on shore patrol. That was the Navy's military police. So we got sent to an accident one morning. I had to work day shift once in a while. We got sent to this accident. And so it was a Navy sailor. It wasn't a real bad wreck. But anyway, we go there. While we're at that wreck, this car pulls up, all excited. I just got ran over on the highway pointed down the road. So I tell my partner, you want to go see about it? He says, no, you go see about it. So he outranked me, with everybody outranked me there. So I go down there, and there's a car in the ditch, and there's a moped smashed beyond repair, but I didn't see any person laying around. So I asked, who was riding the motorbike? So they said, they pointed to this Spanish Marine, and he was standing there talking to some people, and they wore blue pants, a red stripe, and a white tunic. So I tapped him on the shoulder, and he turns around, and he's got a perfect tire track diagonally across his chest.
Wait, he's got a perfect what?
Tire track.
Oh, tire track across his chest?
That car had ran like from the left bottom of his rib cage up to his right shoulder. Perfect tire track. You could have solved the crime off of that tire track.
Wow.
But anyway, the only thing I could figure out, that highway was real old. I had never been down it before. It was like a cobblestone highway, which was weird. Most of the highways in Spain and streets were actually in very good smooth shape. But this was like an ancient old road that was cobblestone. And the only thing I could figure out, one of the tire must have hit one of those rocks where the tire went up in the air just enough so when it passed across his chest, it didn't crush his chest.
My goodness.
So he was pale as a ghost, but I tried to get him let me call the ambulance to send him to the base hospital, and he refused. So he was Spanish, so I couldn't order him to do that. If he'd been an American, and I could have made him, but that was really weird too. But yeah, I can't believe you rode motorcycles. I worked 31 years in ICU. I can tell you something. The most gruesome accident victims you never want to see were in motorcycle wrecks. I mean, I could tell you, I could take up the rest of the story telling you horror stories about stuff I saw. You're glad.
I stopped riding about 10 years ago, and I don't trust other people now. I don't even know if I trust myself now at my age, but you make a great point, and I also won't let my son ride one.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you for your call.
I don't ride them either.
Yeah. They're fun in the dirt, though, out, running out yonder. All right, let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
KSYL.
Hello, I'm Dr. Noah Miller. I'm the new guy at the clinics. I'm a family medicine physician from Vedrine, Louisiana, and I'm now accepting new patients. Call today for an appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care, on-site lab and x-ray as well. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics. 1587 North Bolton. Call 445-9823 or reach us online at theclinics.us. Looking forward to seeing you at the clinics.
All of us have that one friend who can just light up the room with a smile. And sadly, how many of us are just a little bit envious of that friend? Well, here's the good news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver that beautiful beaming smile. Over the years, hundreds of hopeful patients have visited and been completely satisfied. They've made getting dental implants an amazingly simple, low-anxiety procedure, one that's affordable for anyone's budget. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you feel comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Isn't it your turn to light up that room? Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540.
Well, this is interesting. How many times have you seen an airline passenger stopped at a gate for trying to take an oversized carry-on bag on board a flight? Maybe you've been that guy. If so, you should know that if you fly a particular European airline, their gate agents get a little bonus every time they block a passenger from trying to carry on an outsized bag. From America's #1 travel radio show, this is your RM World Travel Minute. I'm Rudy Maxim. Ireland-based discount carrier Ryanair puts a bounty on oversized bags that have to be gate checked. An employee who intercepts an offender gets about $2 per bag, up to a minimum of $107 a month. This perfectly reflects Ryanair, an airline headed by a devoted cost cutter named Michael O'Leary. If that name is familiar, he's the guy who once suggested Ryanair could carry more passengers per plane if some of them could fly standing up. Really? They'd be harnessed to a wall with seat belts in case a ride got bumpy, but they'd pay less for a ticket than seated passengers. Let's hope U.S. Airlines never decide to pay a bonus to eagle-eyed gate agents. More travel info at rmworldtravel.com.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
Welcome back on Monday morning. Hey, I need to talk a little sports because Al's not here and people are probably having a sports withdrawal, right?
Uh-oh.
Just kidding. I don't know as much. I couldn't. My thimble compared to his ocean of sports knowledge, right? I don't know much.
He can't remember yesterday, but he can remember what the Brewers did in 1978.
But I'm sure that he has got to be celebrating a couple of headlines that jumped out to me. One was the 70-yard field goal kicked by the Jacksonville Jaguars kicker this past week, which it's stunning. I mean, that ball is at the 40-yard line on their side of the field, and Cam Little nails it from 70 yards away. If that becomes a norm in football, that changes the game.
Game changer. I would say that's very rare. I think a Dallas Cowboys kicker like 2 or 3 years ago kicked like a 68.
I think that was the record at the time.
Yeah.
67, 66. I think Dempsey for the Saints years ago, who had that club foot and that special shoe, he had the 66-yarder, if I recall.
Yep.
So Cam Little, though, with a 70. Now, this is in an exhibition game. Will it count as a record because it was in an exhibition game?
I don't think so.
Yes, I don't know if that's going to go down in the record book.
And it's just such a high risk of it getting blocked.
Oh, yeah.
The farther back you get, and then the other team will be set up right there across the 50. So,
well, you don't know if the other folks, the other side even tried to block it on this one.
100%.
And it was a perfect kick, no doubt about it. And then the other big thing over the weekend is the very first female umpire in Major League Baseball, Jen Powell. She is the first female umpire in MLB history, and she's played in other positions, but the first time behind the plate. And so a friend sent me the very first pitch, and she called it a strike. And I'm like, that looked like a ball to me. It looked like a little bit inside, but she called it a strike. And they actually went out and they actually certified the ball. It's probably going to go in Hall of Fame and all that stuff. So
I wonder why it took so long.
Yeah, that's a great question. You've had female referees in basketball.
Maybe it's because women play basketball. Women don't really play baseball.
Good point.
But they don't play football either, so.
Right.
And we have a football umpire or ref in the NFL.
Yeah,
so.
and female commentators quite a bit now.
Yeah.
It's becoming quite a thing. It used to be, you had to mansplain football to your ladies, but some of them are pretty knowledgeable now.
Oh yeah, they definitely are.
I don't know if it's just they enjoy the pants or if
oh my gosh, the drama. They love the drama.
Well, there's plenty of drama. A friend of mine went to the Savannah Bananas. 4 friends of mine. Now I gotta say it right. But went to the Savannah Bananas game in Baton Rouge at Alex Box Stadium, and This is an interesting comment. They said it was overstimulating, and both of these guys are very ADHD, and it was like after an hour and a half, they had to check out. It was nonstop.
Really?
That's what they said. They said there's music playing all the time. There's activity everywhere. It's like hyper stimulation of all your senses. And they enjoyed it. But they said after an hour and a half, we were just spent.
Really?
And they left early. So that was odd, you know.
They just want to beat the traffic.
It could have been some of that. And they were driving all the way back here that same night, not spending the night. But they did talk about that game was the I think the Texas firefighters and the party animals. It wasn't the Bananas themselves.
It wasn't.
So there's 4 teams now in the league. Okay, so Banana Ball is a league of 4 teams. And they're going to have the Banana Ball Championship. But they said the experience was, other than they didn't have the guy on stilts, they had a guy on a unicycle.
If you want to talk about sports, Al loves talking about the Savannah Bananas.
Oh, does he really? Are you being sarcastic?
Yes.
Okay, I had a feeling.
He thinks it's sacrilegious to baseball.
I personally find it fascinating because they've taken out all the boring stuff and they've made it a 2-hour game and it's not scripted. It is like Harlem Globetrotters, right, in that it's fun, but I don't think it's as scripted as the Harlem Globetrotters is.
I've never seen Harlem Globetrotters.
No?
No.
Where had you?
I know what they are, obviously, but never been to a Harlem Globetrotters.
Man, your education needs some fulfillment.
Well, I think they had some at LC when I was there, but I just don't know if
They've been at Rapides Parish Coliseum several times.
Okay.
And my first time ever seeing them was at Rapides Parish Coliseum, now the LaBorde Earls Coliseum, but years ago. I've been to them 4 or 5 times, I guess, over the history of my life. And interestingly, they're such a brand that I remember we went to Branson, Missouri a few years ago. We were at Dollywood, and one of the things was that they were going to have Harlem Globetrotters there. So we went where there was 2 of them. It was just 2. And they were basically in the off season just doing this little 30-minute exhibition of trick shots and fun. But it was enjoyable, and we got autographs and whatnot. But seeing them here with Meadowlark Lemon and all the big names, they put on quite an entertaining show.
Really? I would love to see it.
You would. I think you would enjoy it. Now, if you're a basketball purist, you'd be like, nah, because there's trick balls with the ball that has a rubber band attached to it when they throw it and it comes back to you. And, there's a lot of gimmicks to it, but they are very impressive athletes.
I just, people who get upset with changing a sport or whatever, it's just a bunch of guys kicking or throwing around a ball. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just
that's
have
true.
fun.
Enjoy that. So there's an interesting story in NOLA.com about Banana Ball, and it says Banana Ball returned to Baton Rouge and showed why it's becoming a nationwide phenomenon. And one of the things they did is they brought in some former LSU players and let them join and be on the team. And one of them did a backwards flip catch. Which I'm sure they had practiced quite a bit, and another one has the walk-off win, and so I hear they do that. They bring in major league players or people who are local, and that's part of the allure as well.
Yeah, looks like fun.
All right. Well, we need to take our break. We have another call on the line. We'll come back to you on the BOM Talk line right after this. More with Stephen and Nathan.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Close your eyes and feel the sun-drenched breeze of southern Spain. From whitewashed villages to golden beaches, this is where history meets passion. Moorish palaces, flamenco night, and unforgettable tapas. This small group, escorted by Annie and Christine in March 2026, will visit Seville, Cordoba, Granada, Marbella, and more. Join our spectacular Spain tour, beaming with culturally rich and local experiences. FreedomTravelLLC.com, your international travel architect.
Starting a business can be overwhelming, especially when you do it alone. Don't do it alone. Take control of your future with a Janney King Gulf Coast franchise. With Janney King, you get guaranteed initial growth, reliable operational support, and ongoing education to set you up for success. Janney King has built a proven system that gives you the tools to take control of your future confidently and with the support you need to thrive. The future is yours today at JannyKingCleans.com.
Janney King, the king of clean.
Storms, tornadoes, power outages. It's the season, So get prepared. Get storm ready with Southern Air. Get a free estimate on a generator, the right generator for your home and family, plus 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit. Let Southern Air help you take the worry out of hurricane season. Take action now. Visit southernairnow.com and let us bear it. Or give us a call at 318-777-5555. Keep the lights on with Southern Air.
Success is about momentum. For over 20 years, Kinetics has been moving businesses forward with cutting-edge IT, cybersecurity, and marketing solutions while keeping them secure, innovative, and competitive. We power progress with next-gen business technology and marketing solutions designed to keep your business ahead of the competition. Need seamless IT, a bold new brand, a strategy built for what's next? Don't get left behind. Move forward with Kinetics. Visit kbisp.com and take the next step today.
Great news, everybody. Karen is back at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express, located right there at the intersection of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road. Hungry for breakfast? Karen will hook you up with biscuits, croissants, subs, and all the hot coffee you can handle. Just stop by any weekday morning from 6 a.m. till 9 and get your day started right. It's breakfast just the way you like it. Fresh, hot, and satisfying. Now I'm hungry. That's Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express on MacArthur Drive at Bayou Rapides Road.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Welcome back to Talk Back for this Monday morning. Our caller, we went to the break and he was on hold, or she, and then they dropped off. So please call us back on the BOM Talk line, 318-442-8255. Don't forget at 8:30, Senator John Kennedy will be calling in for about 15-20 minutes, and we will enjoy talking with him. He's got something that he passed that he wants to let us know about. That the Homeland Security Committee passed out a bill that he and Senator Peters passed to end government payments to deceased Americans. I'm surprised we have to pass a bill to make that happen, but they got that out of the Homeland Committee, and we'll get an update from him on where that's going and other things that are happening in Washington. Senator Kennedy is always a fun interview.
Yeah, he definitely is. And he's coming to town in a couple of days, huh?
He is going to be here. I think it's maybe in 2 Mondays. Let me look and see real quick because I've got it on my calendar for. It is the 25th, August 25th. Okay. And if you want more information, the chamber will provide that information to you. And that's an event that his schedule is pretty tight. And unfortunately, there will be a conflict with the North Rapids Business and Industry Alliance that same day. And so folks will, can't do both, can't be in two places at once, unfortunately. So folks will have to make a decision. But you don't always get a senator in town, so I'm sure he'll have a good crowd. And, of course, North Rapids Business and Industry Alliance, I believe, will have Secretary of Education Cade Brumfield will be the guest that day. And
Brumley.
Where did Brumfield come from? I was thinking brownfields. So that'll be a good, informative meeting as well. So over the weekend, we were talking about some of the sports happening. I really haven't been following football. Have you?
No, not the preseason.
The preseason just feels...
I don't like doing training camp either. It bores me.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Cowboys fan.
I know you are.
I just can't. It's the most pointless 4 games ever. Let's do one preseason and call it a day.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. But I could see 2 at the most. On the high school level, they'll have one typically scrimmage and then maybe a jamboree. Yeah. And then you start your regular season and you have 5 games of just regular games and then 5 games of district, traditionally speaking. I don't know if I ever told you why I stopped liking the Cowboys. I used to be a huge Cowboys fan.
Was it Tom Landry?
That's it. Okay. And I'm sure you've heard that before, right?
I hear it all the time.
Just the way that they let him go and the disrespect that...
No, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's these business people. They're cutthroat like Jerry Jones, and it's all about the billions, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm ready for him to stop being the owner, and that probably means dying, so I don't want him to die.
No.
I don't want that on anybody, but I'm looking forward to those days. But I don't know if his son Steven is going to be much better, to be honest with you. He might be a little bit more chill. But
I think that, if he had handled that transition a little better, then the America's team would still be, I don't know.
I mean, money and ratings wise. They're
still pretty much.
They're
up
the
there.
number one in the world.
It
They're
was
the
always
most
funny to
valuable
me.
franchise.
We were Saints fans here, but all my friends in North Louisiana were Cowboys fans because that's what their stations carry, especially Shreveport, which
Shreveport's
is only 3
big
hours
Cowboys
away.
fans. Yeah.
So, but man, Roger Staubach, Lynn White, just that whole group of people in the 70s and 80s were very nostalgic, and they must have had more television rights because we saw them more. Definitely enjoyed them. Roger Staubach's such a stand-up guy. Seemed like such a stand-up guy. Didn't he go into car ownership?
Real estate, I think.
Oh, was it real estate?
He might have done cars too, but I know he made a lot of his money on real estate.
Is he still living?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is.
I haven't.
That'll be a horrible day when that happens.
Well, we had another horrible day. Jim Lovett passed away over the weekend, the Apollo 13 astronaut who had the famous line, "Houston, we have a problem."
I didn't know that he did die.
That was, yes, he passed away. He was 97 years old, and it's certainly a loss. I mean, 97 is a full life. I heard in one interview with him, he talked about after that Apollo mission, he was actually supposed to be the 5th man to walk on the moon. And obviously they didn't make it there, had to come back. But he said after that, and there was almost a 0% chance of survival. When the failure happened, and it was 99% chance of failure. It was not going to get back. But through the ingenuity of a bunch of people working their tails off and their ability to withstand 5 days on the return in a limited capacity, they made it safely home and became America's heroes. But he said after that, he never really had any worries the rest of his life. Nothing else could really scare him.
No, I bet.
You survived being almost abandoned in outer space. I don't know what else can happen to you. So
that was no. If you were offered a free ride to space, would you do it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't, because now I'm not. This is Nathan specific. I am claustrophobic. So that would be a problem. Just, I went and watched Fantastic Four over the weekend.
Oh, was it
with
good?
My kids. It was okay. It was a good, really, it's just like I told you about Superman. It feels like they've taken us back 30 years in the movie making style. It's simpler.
Good.
It's less, it's definitely not woke. It's more, just simple. It's more comic book type.
Gotcha.
So it was very enjoyable, but there was one point when they're putting on their helmets and they lock in the helmets, and I kind of had a little panic attack right then. So no, I couldn't go down to space.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right, that wraps up hour number 1. We've got another hour coming up. We'd love to have your phone calls on the BOM Talk Line, 318-442-8255. Don't forget, at 8:30, Senator John Kennedy is coming along, so we would love to have you join us for that and make your calls to him as well. And Stephen and I will be right back with more on Talk Back.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting. AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump is expected to speak in an hour about a new plan to have federal troops protect the nation's capital.
The president says he'll address ending the crime, murder, and death in our nation's capital.
We're going to take care of it. You're going to be safe. You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
He suggests crime is up in D.C.
What a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of muggings, killings, and everything else.
But Mayor Muriel Bowser disagrees, telling MSNBC,
we are not experiencing a spike in crime.
Trump has already sent hundreds of federal officers to patrol the streets. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
The president posted to Truth Social this morning saying, quote, Washington will be liberated today, and crime, savagery, filth, and scum will disappear. Mr. Trump is prepping for a meeting with Vladimir Putin in Alaska Friday. CBS News has learned Putin requested the one-on-one, but Mr. Trump is still open to including Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky to discuss the ceasefire agreement. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte on CBS's Face the Nation.
On Friday, it is important to see how serious Putin is, and the only one who can do that is President Trump.
The president has suggested a land swap. might be part of a potential peace deal. Israel claims a reporter killed in a strike on Gaza over the weekend was a Hamas cell leader responsible for advancing rocket attacks. Reporter Linda Gradstein is in Jerusalem.
In a statement after the attack, Al Jazeera said the Israeli army's order to kill Anassa Sharif, who they called one of Gaza's bravest journalists, along with his colleagues, is a desperate attempt to silence voices ahead of the occupation of Gaza.
Kansas and Missouri are bracing for heavy rain and flooding that's already drenched places like West Allis, Wisconsin.
5 feet of water in the basement.
We looked out our windows like it was like a river.
Correspondent Tom Hansen.
The same system brought destructive winds to eastern Nebraska. One woman was killed after a tree landed on her car. In Lincoln, wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour tore off part of the roof of the Nebraska State Penitentiary, forcing hundreds of inmates to be relocated. And in Missouri, flooding on Sunday created this geyser in the middle of the road and caused backlogs on highways in and out of St. Louis.
Overseas, a swarm of jellyfish has temporarily shut down a nuclear plant in northern France. The state-owned operator says they entered the filter drum and clogged pumps used to cool the reactors. The Gravelines plant on the coast between Calais and Dunkirk is one of the largest in the country. Officials say there's been no harm to the environment. Dow futures are up 68. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm John Burns. Education Secretary Linda McMahon will be at Jefferson Terrace Academy this morning in Baton Rouge as part of a nationwide tour. She'll be visiting classrooms and attending a roundtable discussion. McMahon's touring the country as the president looks to dismantle the Department of Education at the federal level.
This is about restoring local control, expanding choices for families, and building a future where every student can succeed. Let's return education to our states and give America's students a future they deserve.
Ponchatoula's Elmer chocolate has been sold to Florida-based Hoffman family of companies, but it's not going anywhere. Elmer CEO Robert Nelson says the family wants to grow the company and keep it in Ponchatoula. Jeff Hoffman says when he toured the facility, he knew Elmer was a company they wanted to partner with.
What got us most excited is when we came in and met the team and saw the manufacturing capability and facility and the culture that the Nelsons have built within the Elmer candy facility.
LRN.
Louisiana forests once fueled our economy. Your granddad logged these woods. So did your dad. And now, Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is keeping that legacy alive, turning thinnings and wood byproducts into clean fuel right here in Pineville. It means more jobs, stronger forests, and a future that honors where Central Louisiana came from. Be part of Louisiana's next chapter. Visit BeaverLakeRenewable.com and find out how we're putting Central Louisiana back on the map.
Well, a mixture of sunshine and clouds in our forecast on this Monday. Good morning. Could see an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, about a 20% chance of that. Still warm. Afternoon highs will be near 94 degrees. We'll see an east-northeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy overnight. Could see a shower or thunderstorm, about a 30% chance of that. It looks like more of the same really in store for us on Tuesday. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Welcome back to Talk Back, as we are excited to have you here with us on this Monday morning, another manic Monday, as some would say. And I know how much you love these annual days, Stephen. Today is Annual Medical Checkup Day.
Oh.
Yeah, you love these kinds of things. I heard you and Al talk about that inane patter that fills time.
Gosh. National Oreo Dipped in Chocolate Day.
Can you just create it and say it and then hope somebody follows suit? It feels like that happens sometimes.
I don't even know who registers these things.
I have no idea, but we get a show prep email typically Monday through Friday. And, here's another one. It says National Presidential Joke Day. Oh, yeah, somebody made that up. Right.
That's weird you say medical checkup, because I was on Facebook, as I am every morning, checking the news, and he was like, you should get your colon checked out. You should get this checked out. So maybe the world's on board.
Maybe they know. I hope Dr. Jonathan Hunter is listening. Maybe he'll call us and give us an on-air checkup.
I don't think you want him to check you up.
Actually, he is my doctor. So.
He's like a doctor too on the side.
Wait, Dr. Jonathan Hunter? Oh, yeah, the coroner.
Yeah.
I now see where you're going.
That's what I was saying. I'm sure he's amazing. I'm just saying.
He's been my doctor for about 12 or 15 years.
I just figured you're just coronered full time.
Well, coroner is a part-time job.
Gotcha.
And he really has a great staff. A lot of the work is done by the staff. Now, he has to certify things. I'm sure he does. I know he does daily work there. With some of the stuff that the coroner does, and he'd be a great interview one day. We need to get him in. He's so much fun. But, yeah, the coroner is so much fun. I know that sounds hilarious. It's like, let's get a funeral director in here, right? But he has to do what they call psychiatric evaluations of people if the police arrest someone, and they can do a coroner-ordered stay. And really, the coroner has tremendous power because they're the only one that can order your rights to be removed and you to be held for 72 hours or 7 days or whatever if they feel like you're a threat to yourself. And I've talked with him about that. He takes that incredibly seriously. He's like, that is not something you ever want to take lightly, is removing someone's rights.
Yeah.
So we think of coroners, we typically think of autopsies, but there's more to it than that. Of course, they're the arbiter of the death records. The death certificates go through his office and all that. But he calls us from time to time, and he's also very active in the community, has a very thriving private practice. I think he has some ownership in some things that are good for the community. So
is he a general practitioner?
He is. Okay. Yeah, family and primary. He's my primary care physician. I'm assuming I'd have to Google to see what.
Is it Pineville or Ellis?
He's in Alexandria. He's at the clinics over there by the old North Traffic Circle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The other one. We need to do a history story on that.
That would be fun.
Because I'll say South Traffic Circle, like, that's the only traffic circle. It's like, well, that's what they call it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he is family medicine physician is his board certification in family practice. But, so the clinics are right over there. And they're the title sponsor of our show, so we need to shout out to them from time to time. They have like 27 different providers. And I love that. We hear it on the air all the time. You can be seen today, right? Because it's almost like an urgent care in the sense that if you need to see a doctor, you can call. They'll work you in with one of their. It may not be your doctor, but
I don't have to wait till the next calendar year. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, I said I don't have to wait till the next calendar year.
That's right. But in specialties and whatnot, it can be months to get in. But with them, you can go to an urgent care, of course, and pay your $55 copay, or you can go to your family practitioner and pay a $25 or $35 copay, save money. And the advantage, it seems like to me, would be that all your records are already there. So even if your doctor can't see that day, his fellow doctor who has access to the very same records can see you and help you out. So
I got a lot of opinions on that, and I agree with you, but I'm just going to keep my opinions to myself about sometimes urgent cares. But yeah, that's great. I'm going to call him because I need a family doctor, me and my wife. So we already have Sophia at a doctor, pediatrician in town.
Well, I can't recommend him strongly enough. He's turned into a friend the way a doctor you would want a doctor to. He really cares. Now, their businesses are busy. You get in there and you may only get a few minutes with because he's got to see 20, 30, 40 people a day. But
Well,
I'm not going to ask him to call me and diagnose me on the air. I'm not going to do that.
Y'all can talk about your medical history on air if you want to.
There's things that we could. He's actually helping me with my blood pressure right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his office has been very, they send me home with a blood pressure cuff. And I got to take my readings a couple of times a day. And somebody from his office calls me every week. And they go over my results and make this modification. And, they've been very proactive.
When I was living in Shreveport, I would, have something come up and I need to go get care. I wouldn't say immediately, but pretty immediately, right?
Right.
Like I call it was an MP in town, nurse practitioner. And I'll call like, hey, I need to get in. I'm feeling sick or something's wrong with me. Oh, we could probably get you in like 3 or 4 weeks. And
right.
What's the purpose? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And urgent care, it's sometimes, they're trying to move things quickly too. And it's a very fast-paced thing. And
Come on, tell me what, I want to hear your opinion.
The attention to detail is different with a doctor or an MP at like at your practice, right? Sometimes urgent care is just like, get in.
Yeah, and I think that's really where it's designed to fit is that intermediate. You don't need emergency room, but you need to see somebody. And so you've got a rash or you something swelling on your elbow or, you're not sure if you broke your arm or not. It's hurting. You want.
And sometimes we treat it like a doctor's office. I get that.
Yeah,
that's probably not what they do for the most part.
But I know, like, if I'm having chest issues, I'm not going to an urgent care. I'm going to the ER.
Yeah.
There are certain things you just need to know when to make that call.
And you can't generalize either, but I was at one in Shreveport, and my daughter, who started daycare, got hand, foot, mouth. You know what I'm talking about? Like that kid disease, right? And it creates like a rash on your arms and in your mouth, and you get like these cold symptoms. But it's not respiratory.
Right.
And so she had it. She obviously had it. And then I started getting super sick, like 103 temperature that night. And then I Googled it. It's like, okay, adults can get it now too. There's a new variant apparently the past 5 or 6 years. So I go to urgent care just to like get medicine or get like a steroid shot or whatever it is because they say that helps. And they're like, no, you must have something respiratory. I'm like, ma'am, my daughter has hand, foot, and mouth.
Right.
I have the exact same system. She goes, no, it's respiratory. And then I break out the next day in these rashes.
Yeah.
And I was like, you just said something.
Yeah.
And I paid you $200.
Yeah. See, I don't think about that side because we've always had, for quite some time had insurance, and so we have a copay that's typically $55 to go to an urgent care.
But they bill me later, usually.
Did they really?
Yeah. You must have good insurance.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I'm grateful, very grateful for it. Yeah.
Urgent care is the toughest one because sometimes that's the one we usually get the bills for.
Wow.
Like we went to one recently, and I paid it was like $35, $45 copay, and $250 bill in the mail.
Wow.
But if you get me started on the healthcare industry, we'll be here all day. It's the biggest scam.
It is.
Insurance is the biggest scam that we all let happen. And it's a shame, and it's unethical, immoral, and it's evil. And we let it happen.
So my wife has got me hooked on a show called Gilded Age.
Oh, I saw that one.
And it's in the past, if we've ever watched anything, you can the whole 10 years is already available, so we can just watch binge 2 or 3 in a row. Well, Gilded Age is currently being produced, and so we have to wait for every Sunday for the next episode to come out. And last night's episode, there's 2 different doctors in there, a black doctor and a white doctor, and someone gets shot. I won't give it away, and they call for the doctor, but the black doctor happens to be right across the street. And they bring him in, and there's this isn't the 1890s maybe, or no, this is the 1920s, I think. And so, there's a little apprehension, but the mother's like, I don't care what color he is. If he's a doctor, get him in here. And he saves the guy's life. And then there's this whole, follow-ups. Back in the days when doctors made house calls and it certainly changed from that. That's where it is helpful to have a friend in the medical field who's not bashful about call me anytime. I got another nurse practitioner friend that's like, call me. He's been with me to Mexico several times, and he's like, hey man, give me a call if you got anything with your family. I'll help you out. And he's really been. And there's times he'll say, Nathan, I can't help you with this one. You really need to see your primary care. You need to see. He knows his own limitations.
Sure.
I feel bad for those folks because I know they get hit up all the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can imagine. We have a nurse friend like, hey, should we do this? Should we do that? And back when I was a kid, but. It comes to the territory,
It does.
Yeah.
People always asking you what's going on because it's the hazard of your profession.
Now they're like, hey, can you cover this? Can you cover that?
Yeah.
Which I like people hit me up to cover stuff because it helps me have good ideas. So Keep them coming. I ain't complaining.
Fill the DM inbox with DM has become a verb now, right? DM me.
It's hard to keep up with them too, and it's like you're constantly on there, and then putting things in the calendar. And I'm usually like, hey, you let me know about something 3 months down the road. Hit me up a week before.
Right. Yeah, I may not remember it.
I'm just not going to.
Do you use a calendaring system for yourself?
Oh yeah, yeah. And sometimes I'm bad at just not looking at it too. So, you know what I mean? I have like a million notifications where it pops up on my phone and says, "Hey, you have this, and that."
Well, if it weren't for a calendar, I don't know what I'd do. That's definitely my go-to. Is it keeps me safe. Excuse me. I changed the default notification from 10 minutes ahead to 30 minutes ahead. That's the only way.
I do hours, days, minutes at time of the event.
Oh, wow.
Some sad news to report. We just got an email from Grant Parish Sheriff Stephen McCain. Their K-9 officer, Speck, I actually think I remember covering this. He passed away. He was 10 years old.
Oh, no.
He died from cancer. He was let's see what he was. A German short-haired pointer. Oh, man. I hate to hear that.
Wow. Well, that is very sad to hear.
Yeah. I'll post a picture of him online.
Okay. That'll be good to.
I'm pretty sure I covered whenever he was, what's the word you're looking for? Enrolled into the force a couple of years ago before I left KOB. And that was a good time. And it's always tough for the handler, the officer who's over it, because I mean they become like. They get usually a super close relationship. So.
My dad had a police dog. He was a police officer before I was born, and he had a police dog named Butch, and that was his true companion. And to this day, he still talks about that bond. Now, my dad's a dog person for sure. So if you want to get into some good dog conversations, just talk to my dad. Follow him on Facebook. He's going to talk about his dogs at least once a week.
What kind of dog does he have?
He's got a little Shih Tzu and what's that little yappy, long-haired, tiny little Yorkie.
Oh, those are good.
But before that, he had a Great Dane. He had a Great Dane and a Yorkie together. Can you imagine a combo, like the biggest dog and the littlest dog together?
I would love to have seen that.
And the Yorkie was the boss. There was no doubt about it.
We have one dog now. He's a standard poodle named Ben. I love that dog. They're the smartest dogs, very kind, I feel like he's a human.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a dog person, but we love Ben. He's a good dog. I shaved him yesterday. I think he's mad at me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have friends that loved poodles. I've never liked them. I thought they were yappy.
He's the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
Chill, huh?
Yeah, he's very chill.
We've got two rescues. One is a Catahoula Cur mix with the two different colored eyes. And then the other is, he's Heinz 57. He's got a little bit of everything.
You don't know, huh?
And those rescue dogs, sometimes they are the best. They love you. They bond to you. They're awesome.
Well, Ben's a standard poodle. I'm like, y'all must have spent lots of money on him. No, we got him at a shelter. He was at a breeder's house. They bred him. And then I think the owner got really sick. And they posted him at the shelter, and we went and picked him up in Winfield.
Cool.
About 2 years ago. So yeah, he was kind of expensive for a shelter dog. It was like $400, but
yeah, a little bit.
They're about $3,000.
Okay.
If you buy him from a breeder.
Why was he more expensive as a shelter?
I think it was because
they just took advantage of you.
Yeah, I don't know if they took advantage, but they're like, hey, we got a poodle.
Okay.
They had to get him neutered or whatever you call it, and all that.
And that's pretty standard though. It's usually around $100.
It's about $100
by the time they do all that, but $400. That seems. They just took it.
Yeah, I know.
Did they have papers?
Yeah.
He's registered?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's legit. So.
I can see then that kind of adds to the, if they had his bona fides.
And Grant Parish, I think theirs is like $35.
Really?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
No. Well, I think in Pineville, if they were already neutered or spayed, then it's only it's somewhere in that price range. But if they have to be altered, then it becomes, you have to add that on there. So I tell you what, that would typically open the phone lines. People start talking about their dogs and talking about rescues. So if you want to give us a call, 318-442-8255. We've got one segment left until we have Senator John Neely Kennedy joining us at 8:30. Stick around for more on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Blended families, bonus children, and co-parenting can bring amazing experiences, but it can also be overwhelming and complicate your estate plan. How can families navigate the process when entering into this wonderful journey? I'm George Fine with Fine Legal Services. When it comes to your family's questions, our team can make planning for the future seamless and transparent. Call your Alexandria, Louisiana attorneys, George Fine and Jeremy Cedars, at 318-767-2226 to learn more, or visit fine-lawyers.com.
LSBA number LA2316294.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Sinlah's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt in your mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Welcome back to Talk Back on Monday. It's the 11th day of August. I don't know what happened this day in history because I didn't look it up, but I know today we're going to make it. Well, it's not making history, but we'll be joined by Senator John Kennedy in just a little bit. We've got until that time, the phone line is open, 318-442-8255. Had a great visit with Cornelius on Friday. Got to go by and visit with him, and I appreciate he's a frequent caller to every show that he listens to, but he's passionate about them, and he's a great visit. If anybody ever wants to go by, he always gives his address out. I won't give it, but when he calls, he often gives it out and invites people to go by and visit. And sometimes, you only hear a voice on the radio, and you kind of get to know them through that way. But we have created a sense of family here. And I remember, sometimes we miss people because they drop off. You don't know what happened. He did share with me that one of our regular callers, Concordia, has recently, I say recently, in the not too distant past, passed away after a short stay in a nursing home. And we certainly miss his regular calls. The problem is that sometimes when we give nicknames to folks, we don't know who they really are. And so I like to get to know people if we can. And I remember going to Becky's funeral and hearing her story and just finding more about her than when we had those regular everyday calls. Of course, her husband, Jesse, was a regular caller for many years before he passed away. We've got some other callers. Thankfully, I know, UPS Dave, his name is Dave, and he's been a co-host here. We brought him in from time to time. But I'd love to meet FedEx Sam and love to meet some of our folks. The guy that calls from Chicago, would love to visit with him, outside of the radio time. So I've got a public Facebook. You can find me pretty easily. Nathan CCI is my handle there on Facebook, or you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, but I don't really do much Instagram stuff.
I'm 99% Facebook. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm looking up football stuff sometimes, or like CrossFit stuff, I'll get on Instagram, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the Twitter stuff. I just don't feel like I have enough time. From time to time, I'll hit it up and just scroll and find something, and then I start going down these threads because everybody is really doing the threads, and it takes a lot of time. By the way, Dan Bongino posted over the weekend. He quoted FBI Director Kash Patel's post that says 200 days of Trump administration from January 20 to the present. And he lists all these things that have gone on. Dan Bongino said, this isn't even the beginning of the beginning. More coming.
Okay.
So, all right, Dan.
I'm ready.
All right, we got a couple of lines lit up. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, I want to tell you something that happened to me recently.
Yes, sir.
Well, I went somewhere. Over the years, I've developed an addiction to caffeinated soft drinks.
Oh, okay.
A real addiction, like 3 or 4 days, and plus sugar, a lot of sugar. Well, I went somewhere where I couldn't get either one of them. I was on a hike.
Okay.
I was on a hike in Yellowstone, and you can't take that stuff with you because you only take the food. And anyway, about halfway through the hike, I started getting sick. I thought I was dying. I swear I thought I was having a heart attack. And so I left the hike and went down to Houston. I absolutely thought I was dead. And I went down to Houston and checked into a hospital down there. When I got down there, my pulse was 32 and my nose was bleeding. And so they admitted me. Well, they admitted me, and they were wanting to stick a pacemaker in me because my heart was an AFib. And I had a really slow pulse rate. It got down into the 30s live. And so they wanted to stick a pacemaker in me, and it was lift-off symptoms from the caffeine.
Really?
Yes. And if you do, people will tell you that, your body will metabolize that sugar and that caffeine within a few days. Well, that's true. But over a period of time, like years and decades in my case, if you consume if your body gets that stimulant every single day, and you take that away, it's like taking cocaine or something away from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did the cold turkey thing because I'm a heavy caffeine user, and I took it away completely for 24 hours, and my body, I felt like I had flu symptoms. I just was on the couch in pain. It was like I had the flu. It was awful.
Wow.
Right, and so that's a lesson. No more caffeine, no more sugar for me. I don't need that stuff.
There's no doubt sugar is one of the most addictive substances.
But whenever I cut it out, so I had that 24-hour period where I just felt like I was dying. It was awful. But once I got past that, I felt normal again, and I quit caffeine for about a month. And it didn't really change my life, except I just missed coffee, and so I just brought it back. So, but yeah, there's probably some.
All right, thank you very much. We got more phone lines lit up. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning, Dave and Nathan. This is Jeanette.
Good morning,
I was
Jeanette.
just calling to say good morning that I hadn't been calling. Say my legs had swelled up about 4 weeks ago, a month ago now, and they all swole up, but they want to say it's fluid. And I say it's not fluid. It's infection from the fungus that's been in my feet for 12 years. So I started seeing a new practitioner, and she just wanted to see how things was going to go and put me on some fluid pills, but it still ain't going down. So I had called, and they gave me my test results from the 21st. So everything is good in the body, but not in my feet. So then I got an appointment. I had went in last Wednesday. So finally she said, I'm going to take some blood and do a fungus culture test. So I say, finally, 12 years. But things just not like they used to be, and doctors don't care no more, different ones. But it is some that care, be nice and take care of you. But don't be disappointed when you don't hear what you want to hear. It's just everybody is not the same. So you have to deal with it and don't give up. Just keep getting another doctor and another doctor until you get somebody that'll relate and care about you.
Well, I'm so glad you called. Thank you very much. Appreciate hearing from you, Jeanette, and wish you the best. We got time for one more call. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning. I'm on?
Yes, sir. You got about 30 seconds.
Okay. I got something to talk to y'all about just for 30 seconds. I see the Alexandria staging at the airport is back on the news.
Yes, sir. Stephen covered that over the weekend.
Yeah, well, I seen it on the news on Alexandria. Okay, that is a situation right there. It's just waiting for something bad to happen. That place, everything is wide open to everybody. And they don't never do anything about a situation like that until after something bad happens. Then they move in concrete pillars and everything, try to block off the doors and everything. But that's a place waiting for something bad to happen. I just want to tell y'all, maybe you talk with somebody else about it.
Thank you.
Because I know people that works there, and it's dangerous.
Well, we appreciate your call. I'm sure the folks are listening, and then.
But they always wait till it's too late.
I got you. You're talking about.
We should have done something earlier.
Are you talking about the ICE detention facility?
Yes, the staging area they call it now.
Okay. Well, I appreciate
it's all over the news, all over the worldwide now.
And people are coming from other areas to make protests.
And protesting, yeah. Other areas, paid people, I'm sure they'll be paid.
Right.
But it's something fixing to happen that bad.
Well, thank you for that. Let's keep our eye on it, and I think Steve and I will both privately
keep the eye on it. They need somebody. It needs to be something. It needs to be reinforced.
Well, we're certainly. I'm going to make a call today to some friends over there and share this concern.
You got the GEO. You got the airport. Then you got the feds, and nobody's doing nothing but watch it.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You can drive in there on a golf cart and do all kind of damage. And they even take the weapons off of the ICE people when they come in.
Wow.
It's GEO does.
I've got to take this break. Thank you for that call. We'll pass it along. We will very much pass that to friends over there.
I just want to call it.
Absolutely.
That to somebody's attention. But I know we'll be calling back here in two or 3 weeks and we're talking about what happened.
Right. That's right. Well, thank you so much for that call. We'll be back with Senator John Kennedy right after
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Wall Street's rally that drove stocks to the cusp of all-time highs halted amid concerns about an overheated market, with the Dow falling 224 points or 0.5%. The S&P 500 dropped by 5 points or a little less than 0.1%, while the Nasdaq was a lone bright spot, gaining 73 points or 1/3%. OpenAI releasing today a new artificial intelligence model called GPT-5, which CEO Sam Altman is calling a, quote, major upgrade. GPT-5 is designed to be more capable at coding and creative writing, as well as reasoning through complex queries. OpenAI is making the program widely available to all free users and many of its paid ChatGPT subscribers will have higher usage limits with the tool. Costco reported robust sales totals for the month of July. The wholesale giant saw comparable sales in the U.S., excluding gas, rise by 6.5%. Meanwhile, outside the states, sales were up over 9% in Canada and 7.5% internationally. Costco shares ended the day up 0.9%. I'm Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
The clinics welcome Dr. Noah Miller, family medicine physician, to our team. Dr. Miller from Vadrine, Louisiana, is now accepting new patients. Call today to schedule your appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care with on-site lab and x-ray. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics, 1587 North Bolton. Call 445-9823 or look us up online at theclinics.us.
Tired of noisy neighbors? Want to keep pets in and problems out? Sounds like you need a Promo Fence. At Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, our fences don't just work, they wow. From classic cedar and pine privacy fences to durable chain link, sleek metal, and aluminum, even decorative fencing. We've got something for every home, yard, or business, big or small, residential or commercial, all with free estimates, expert installs, and small town customer care. Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, fences that feel like home.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there's lots of places that also have it. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every single second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock specialist is going to help solve the identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code Beck at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Well, a mixture of sunshine and clouds in our forecast on this Monday. Good morning. Could see an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, about a 20% chance of that. Still warm. Afternoon highs will be near 94 degrees. We'll see an east-northeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy overnight. Could see a shower or thunderstorm, about a 30% chance of that. It looks like more of the same really in store for us on Tuesday. From the Zenlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talk back. To take part of the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Good morning. Welcome back to Talk Back on this Monday morning. Nathan Martin, Stephen Maxwell, joined on the phone by none other than Honorable Senator John Kennedy. Good morning, Senator Kennedy. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm well.
Great. We are delighted that you call in, and we always look forward to your calls, hoping that we'll have a one-liner or two in there, but we know you're more than just a one-liner. You are actively working to protect the interests of Americans, and one of the things that I saw recently was a bill that you and Senator Peters brought to the Senate Homeland Security Committee regarding what surprises many of us, that payments have been being made to deceased Americans. Can you tell us about that bill?
This could only happen in Washington. When you die, your name is sent to the Social Security Administration. And the Social Security Administration compiles they call it a master death file. I'll just call it a dead person's list.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered 5 or 6 years ago that Social Security refused to share their list of dead people with any other agency in the federal government. Well, what was the result of that? The result of that was that many other agencies in federal government kept sending checks to dead people. And sometimes they were cashed. Obviously fraud. We were losing hundreds of millions of dollars a year. So I passed a bill 5 or 6 years ago to require Social Security to share the list. But to get it passed, because there was opposition, believe it or not, I had to put a time limit on it. It expires at the end of this year. And Senator Peters and I just got a bill out of Homeland Security to make it make the bill permanent, or make the law permanent. This should have been something that took 10 minutes, but it's taken 5 or 6 years, and that's the way Washington works.
Have you gotten much opposition to that bill?
Oh, yeah, they're Democrats opposed. And I asked them why, and they don't have a reason. They mostly just don't want to see a bill passed by a Republican.
Okay, so it's not the merits.
That's how bad it's gotten in Washington. There are people in the Senate that would rather see money wasted by sending it to dead people whose relatives cash a check than actually allow a Republican to pass a bill.
Senator Kennedy, I want to ask you about one of the big topics we have here in Central Louisiana. We've asked Senator Cassidy about this, some of his opponents in the race. Do you have an opinion on carbon capture and sequestration?
I think it's a local issue. I've always believed that. Carbon capture is going to be curtailed because we just pulled back a lot of the money under President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, a misnomer. Credits and loans and deductions that went to so-called green energy. I'm not against electric vehicles, for example, but if electric vehicles are so swell, how come we have to pay people to drive them? I don't think we ought to pay people to drive them. If you want one, buy one and drive it. But carbon capture is part of all of that. Depending on the technology you can use, it can work. But a lot of people are pushing back because it's not only once you capture the carbon, you got to do something with it. And a lot of people don't want the carbon injected underground. And so I think it's a local issue as much as anything else. If people are okay with it, I'm okay with it. If they're not okay with it, I'm not okay with it.
Well, you've hit on a theme that many people here have talked about, the subsidies. We know that the electric car subsidy is going away here in the next month or so, and I don't know what that's going to do to car sales. But if the subsidies weren't there, could the industry stand on its own is what a lot of people are saying here. I know we've got to wrap things up just a couple more minutes. Any final thoughts that you have on stuff that you're focused on in Washington?
Well, at some point I want to come back, guys, and talk about the One Big Beautiful Bill. It was a massive piece of legislation. We extended the 2017 tax cuts, made them permanent. We cut taxes on tips and overtime and Social Security and made car loans deductible, increased the standard deduction. I think it's going to help our economy a lot.
If you have time, I just want to ask you one more question, just out of curiosity. I know the president is talking about federalizing Washington, D.C. Do you think that's a good idea?
We've got a bad problem in Washington, and it's all related to crime. You've got a mayor and a city council that think cops are a bigger problem than criminals. And what you allow is what will continue. There's some people in the world, I don't know why, but they hurt other people and they take other people's stuff. And if they think they're not going to be punished, they're going to keep doing it. And that's what it's down to. I don't know what the president's going to do, but I think he's at a minimum, he's going to put Washington, D.C. and the local administration on notice. Guys, either clean up your act or we're going to clean it up for you.
Well, we appreciate you calling in this morning. We know you're going to be in town in 2 weeks, August the 25th, at an event hosted by the Chamber of Commerce, and look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for your continued availability to us and your advocacy on behalf of every one of us here in Central Louisiana.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Senator John Kennedy from Washington, D.C. He's a hometown hero, and we appreciate him calling in this morning on KSYL. We'll be back with more right after this.
KSYL.
Imagine walking where land meets sea, where every step echoes centuries of stories. This is the Portuguese coastal Camino de Santiago. From Porto's riverside charm to Galicia's wild coast, follow a path through fishing villages, ancient chapels, and windswept beaches. Walk the Camino. Feel the call. More than a journey, it's a transformation. Join our small group, escorted by Christine and Father Joy in May of 2026. FreedomTravelLLC.com, your international travel architects.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Welcome back to Talkback on this great Monday morning, the 11th day of August. Nathan Martin sitting in for Al Quartermont this morning, and he'll be back on Wednesday. Stephen Maxwell driving us on the other side of the computer from me. Stepped out just for a second. Appreciate what he brings to the conversation and what you bring to the conversation. As we were talking with Senator John Kennedy a moment ago, he did mention the big, beautiful bill that was recently passed and some of the highlights. We look forward to him calling back and unpacking more of that. And we do want to remind you that you'll have the opportunity to visit and hear from Senator Kennedy coming up on August the 25th. It's a Central Louisiana Chamber of Commerce event that they are hosting, and you can contact the Chamber for information on how to attend that luncheon. It'll be midday on August the 25th. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
It's me again. I'm sorry to double dip.
Go ahead, Margaret. It's me again, Margaret.
Yeah. You know, CBS, that's what y'all broadcast on your station,
yes,
and that's fine. But I hate liberal stations, and I can't stand to listen to the news sometimes. But at any rate, CBS this morning announced that President Trump already has, starting just the last day, or maybe today is the first day, have federal troops patrolling streets of Washington.
Yeah, so that's actually something that Stephen just asked Senator Kennedy about, and Senator Kennedy said Washington is in a bad way and needs this assistance. So I think 120 FBI agents have been commissioned to hit the streets of Washington, D.C. The mayor there says that their department's doing a good job, but they welcome any federal assistance that can be provided. She specifically mentioned they'd like help rebuilding their jail, so obviously they want money. But President Trump feels like boots on the ground are needed, so that it is a federal city. It's not a state jurisdiction. It's that unique district there. So he has commissioned 120 federal Bureau of Investigation officers to be boots on the ground.
Well, good. That's good. Thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that call. Thank you very much. I had to joke with him when he called. He said, I'm calling back again. Do you remember the old song, It's Me Again, Margaret? Country song?
Yeah.
That came to mind. Appreciate our caller. As I was looking at that issue of the crime, they point a lot of it at homelessness, and homelessness is a significant issue in many, many places. Alexandria is struggling with it as well. There are resources available, but sometimes, folks don't either know what those resources are, or they're making choices that
they don't
want to take advantage of them. So it's a really, really hard problem to address. But if the capital city of a nation needs to be safe, and it needs to feel safe. It's probably one of the highest visited places in America. Have you been to D.C., Stephen?
No.
It was a highlight of a trip. We went, my family and I, in 2007. We were only there for about 3 days because we went up to New York, we went to Philadelphia, we kind of did a tour of the Northeast. I would go back and easily spend 2 weeks there just touring. It's filled with history. We did have the opportunity to go up to Washington Monument. We got to sit in on the House of Representatives and hear some debate. We got to tour the White House, and we did some fun things, but there is so much to do.
I mean, that's like my number one goal is to go there in America. Like a place in America, that's where I want to go. Me and my dad had tickets to go to D.C., plane tickets. They were going to go to Baltimore to an Orioles game, and then COVID happened.
Oh, my goodness.
And they canceled everything. But I'm a huge, presidential history buff. I love American history, and that would be awesome to go do. I just have to make some time to do it.
You got to make time.
Well, I'm going to wait till my daughter's a little bit older so we can enjoy it, and go then. Rome is my number one spot.
Rome?
But I felt like I could have gone in the past, but I want like 20 grand in my pocket.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah,
I just want to go so bad. I love the history.
My wife and I have talked a lot about the Europe destinations. We certainly want to go to Israel. We haven't done that yet. We want to make that happen. I know First Baptist Church in Pineville has a trip coming up. I think this week may be the deadline, and we're not able to make that trip with them. But I definitely want to go there. I'd love to go to Spain. And I think, speaking Spanish makes me I feel comfortable there. But the young lady that was on KALB, this weather girl, I forgot her name, Ida. Can't remember her name right now. But she did a great job of kind of, I follow her on the socials, and she's back home in Spain, and just getting to see the beauty of that, the architecture, the history. We have a connection, my wife and I, to England. Of course, we're pretty white. When you do your genealogy, it kind of much of it goes back in that direction. Scotland, Ireland, lots of places would love to visit. I hear on KSYL, Freedom Travel is got a Spain trip coming up pretty soon. They've been advertising, so that would be fun to do.
Yeah, I would love to go to a lot of places. Rome, number one. Ernest Hemingway makes me want to go to Spain. I'm a big Hemingway fan. I love his books, and he loved Spain.
Didn't he spend time in Cuba also?
He loved Cuba, too. I mean, that's The Old Man and the Sea, that book. That's where it was based out of, with the Marlins. And, I've, to be honest with you, I've only been in America. Never been out of the continental U.S.
So those two guys, the Josh and Jace, who from Britain, that are two Brits in America that travel around, I saw a video they did where, people are laughing at Americans that they don't travel universally or internationally. And they said, but if you go to America, you're traveling internationally every time you cross a straight state line.
Yeah.
There's all the different cultures. And, they were blown away that you can leave East Texas and drive 800 miles and still be in Texas.
Yeah.
Whereas in England, you drive that far, you cross 2 or 3 countries. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I've been all over America, but never been out of it.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Just my family was never big vacationers. Our vacation was to go see family in Idaho every other year. We didn't go to the beach. We didn't do that kind of stuff. Didn't go to Disney World. So.
Well, other than the few cruises we've been on, all of my international travel has been missions related. So I've been to, 10, 11, 12 countries, all of it with ministry type work.
My dad too, because he's a pastor.
Yeah. So you do get to see some while you're there and experience it. And I highly, highly recommend international travel. It's certainly a phenomenal eye-opening experience in many, many ways. It broadens your horizons in awesome ways.
Well, whenever the price of groceries goes down, I'll save up for a vacation.
All right, our final break of the hour is coming up. If you haven't called, you need to do it. 318-442-8255, the BOM talk line, and the final segment right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
All of us have that one friend who can just light up the room with a smile. And sadly, how many of us are just a little bit envious of that friend? Well, here's the good news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver that beautiful beaming smile. Over the years, hundreds of hopeful patients have visited and been completely satisfied. They've made getting dental implants an amazingly simple, low-anxiety procedure, one that's affordable for anyone's budget. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you feel comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Isn't it your turn to light up that room? Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540.
Well, let's take a look at my husband Tom's favorite shirt. This is a ketchup stain. We got soy sauce over here, mustard here, Tabasco, chocolate syrup. I'm not worried. I'll just take it to Craig.
At Craig's Cleaners, tough stains are no problem. Finicky, hard, clean fabrics are no problem either.
Wow, honey, great job on my shirt. Now, what's for supper?
Just dependable, professional dry cleaning. Craig's Cleaners, 1746 Elliott Street, 1305 Metro Drive, or Highway 28 East at the Pineville Expressway.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
At a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort,
The 70 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
Well, good morning. Welcome back. Talkback. Headphones are on, and it's time to go back to... Oh, the phone line just dropped. We had a caller that waited through the break, and just as I pushed the button, he's not there. So call us back, 318-442-8255, the BOM talk line. We'd love to have your call during this last segment to let us know what is on your mind and what's happening. By the way, happy birthday to Joe Rogan today. I don't know if you're a Joe Rogan fan, but he turns 58 years old today.
There you go.
So... a couple years behind me. I have really enjoyed some of his podcasts. He has these long form discussions. Do you follow him much or listen to him?
I mean, yeah, I just see the clips like everybody else, I think. Yeah. But I never sit down and watch his show.
It's really interesting to me as a pastor where lately he's been delving into religion and talking with, back in December, he had a Christian apologist on for 2 hours.
I think I saw that one, yeah.
Wesley Huff.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week he had this former SEAL, Chad Wright is his name, and he's got this big long beard. He's super fit. He's like, he's into all things eating holistically and clean. And so Joe brings him on to talk about his lifestyle and all that. And he spends, 2.5 hours talking about faith and Joe just engaged with him completely through. And the fact that he is open to those conversations, I think is what a lot of people appreciate about Joe is he'll talk to you about Big Bang Theory. He'll talk to evolutionists. He'll talk to space alien people. If it's an interesting person, he'll talk to you and have an interesting conversation, but he seems like in the last year to be more open towards faith, and that may just come with getting older.
Maybe so, and just interesting conversations.
Yeah.
Like my favorite, I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, but I think it's a good thing too to do, is like religious debates online.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll spend all day just listening to them.
Well, that's what really
atheist versus religious person, or denomination versus denomination. The one I got into lately was there's like a group of Christians who believe that Jesus wasn't God, and then versus like a traditional evangelical. Right. It's interesting stuff.
That's really what hooked him was that Wesley Huff had these conversations with an atheist, and they had done this debate online, and I think he was intrigued by that level of conversation, so he brought him in.
Was Wesley Huff is like a younger white guy?
Yeah, he's from Canada, and he was kind of not known until the Joe Rogan experience, and now he's all over the place because that platform opened him up. But clean cut, just a real, not harsh spoken person. So Also, happy birthday to Steve Wozniak, the Woz, if folks know him as the co-inventor of Apple.
Okay.
He's been around for a long time. He partnered with Steve Jobs way back in the day. I think there was his garage that they were working in. It's interesting to see how many startups in that industry started in garages and carports and second bedrooms, and Hewlett Packard started in the garage.
Wow.
Dell started in the garage. Apple started in the garage. So kind of interesting there. You now, I think we've had this conversation. You're an Android guy, right?
I'm not like a die-hard, but that's what I have right now. Just because I go back and forth.
I'm gonna pull you into the die-hard fan.
Okay.
Club,
I like the customization on the Androids more. Apple's very finicky about its closed system, but
they very much are. My explanation to people is they're both phenomenal products. They're absolutely great. The iPhone is more like a Mercedes, and the Android is more like a hot rod. And so if you want a phone that, basically it comes in 2 colors and it only has limited options, but it's phenomenal, get your Mercedes, because it comes in black, silver, and white, and it comes in, these are the limited options. But if you want to drop a 4-barrel Holley carburetor on it, and you want to spin the paint job and change the tires and change the differential and, kind of make your own modified supercar, get you an Android. And not everybody wants to do that. I get that. They're both great tools, though.
So I have a fairly new Android.
Right.
And my work phone is the brand new iPhone.
Okay.
I enjoy the iPhone more right now.
Oh, no.
I know, but I go back and forth. I go back and forth. It just depends. I have both, best of both worlds. So
their ecosystem is phenomenal. There's no doubt about it. The way that their devices talk to each other, messaging, and
I think it's opened up a little bit too, like because they'd had issues with texting with Androids and sending pictures. I think they've kind of opened that up.
They have the RCS standard. I don't want to turn this into a tech show, but the RCS standard is now becoming adopted by everybody, and so that's going to make texting a lot better across platforms.
Yeah.
So, well, and I have to know about iPhones because my parents have them, my kids have them, pretty much 90% of them.
Have you ever had one?
I've never owned one. I have owned an iPad, but I will tell you, if I sit down at a MacBook, I struggle. Like, where's the Alt tab? I don't know how to change between programs and stuff. So,
I like a Windows computer significantly more than a MacBook.
Now, if you're in production, especially video or graphics, supposedly, iMac is where to be. That's where a lot of stuff is. But I think the Windows world's come a long way. I use Filmora's Wondershare or Wondershare Filmora. I forget which one it is. DaVinci Resolve is a great video editing program, absolutely free, and it can do phenomenal stuff in making videos. So the tools are pretty much even on both sides of it. But I think my iMac in production is probably bigger than PC.
Well, iMovie's good for a free version, but I use Premiere, Adobe.
Yeah, right.
That's what I use if I'm using the computer. But all my news videos and stuff that I do online, it's all on my phone. Like these video editing softwares on the phone are insane.
And what program are you using? Canva?
Meta's Edits and CapCut's TikTok's CapCut.
Good stuff. All right, well, that wraps up Monday's show for us. Come back tomorrow morning. It'll be the Tuesday show with Nathan and Stephen, of course. We'll have Mayor Joe Bishop from Pineville in the second hour, as tomorrow's the City Council meeting. Thank you for joining us here on Talkback. We appreciate your patronage, and we also appreciate you letting the sponsors know that you heard about them on Talkback. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good one.